The score is tied 2-2 in this Protoss versus Protoss. Definitely not seeing the most technical PvP we've ever seen today. We're seeing a slugfest, Wolf. The game of throws, a lot of mistakes, control mistakes.
Swinging for the fences, man. Like, yeah, both these players are playing a little reckless here. Just get back into that screamer, man. I love this song.
It's a great song. I like to start off here, going into set 5. Our last 2-player map, Terraform, before we go into our 4-player maps, Iron Fortress and Cactus Valley.
The big ones, the big games, the big juicy games, Wolf. I think we're going to make it too. I mean, with this many games left from either side, they have to win 2 more games, herO or herO, to close this out and make it to the grand finals.
Absolutely. Well, the winner of this will be on match point. 1 win away from going to that grand finals. Let's go into it right here, right now on Terraform.
야외 무대에 대한 기대.
첫 결승을 거지.
To the top left in red, it's Rain.
Hottest 2 steps left to the glorious finals. 4-3, please. Agreed. Let's go to 7 games. I would like to see this. And the bottom right in blue, CJ herO. Love these drums.
Me too. Burn that Blink pin. It was Blink he was against in that previous set. Protoss
Equals herO.
I think that's what he's trying to say there. Well,
a lot of cheerfuls today, Wolf.
A lot of them. Many of them keeping it simple today. A hidden pylon this time for Rain, the south of the natural rather than behind the mineral line. And he's checking for proxies to be safe.
Yeah. Fairly standard opening from both sides once again. Nothing out of the ordinary, just safety first. They're pretty deep into the series now. They've played 4 games already. Kind of figuring out each other's styles and what they're capable of. Scared of those proxies.
Place a gateway down here.
Oh. I like this. This is cheeky.
A way to rally some stalkers out a lot faster.
Yeah, and you know, just try and hide it as well, which is also a powerful thing. Like, he doesn't know 2 gateways are on the way. That's going to be a huge surprise when you see 3 stalkers knocking on the front door or finding your mothership core on the map.
This is something that I used to always joke with Artosis about, was the Wolf Gate, when he and I used to practice together a lot, because in Wings of Liberty, on the really, really tiny maps, you know, like Metalopolis and Zelnaga Caverns and whatnot, I would do stuff like this a lot, because having that extra faster rallying power is so important in PvP back then. Especially if you're like close spawns on Metalopolis or something like that, you can just do so much pressure. The problem with this, of course, or the drawback to this, is if scouted, you can kind of counter it, and then you lose a gateway because it's out there exposed.
Yeah, later on in the game, when the armies get too big and positioning's a big deal, like, that's going to be a very exposed building. But, you know, the pylon is on the high ground, and it's going to be very hard to deal with that. So, and it's a very hit point heavy building, one of the most hit points this early on, that's for sure.
Yeah, 1,000 hit points.
Fairly safe building to have down there. I don't mind it at all, but look at this, a 3rd gateway on the way as well.
It's got to be Blink, right?
Yeah. I like this. Very aggressive.
Can definitely control the map early with that forward gateway, because the stalkers are going to be out so much faster. In fact, if he goes up here, it looks like he's just barely going to miss that mothership. And he's actually keeping his stalkers at home, interestingly enough, and he will be able to keep this mothership core away. It's going to scout the Twilight Council.
Yeah, it's going to see everything it needs to see. It's going to see the chrono and be like, okay, it's going to fly on in and recall out.
He only shows 1 stalker and a sentry, and the sentry this early doesn't lead you to believe, oh, okay, Blink attack.
Oh, okay, that was not a good move at all. 2 probes for a Mothership core that had 100 energy, I believe.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, imagine how much more difficult holding a push with really fast Blink is going to be now.
That's a messy thing, right? I mean, you're going to be even when it comes to, you know, production, and you're just missing a Mothership core that's going to have that photon overcharge. But look at this probe. This could also change things once again.
He's actually just going to verify that this is Blink. Oh, no, he doesn't see, but he's going to
see
see the
pylon.
gate.
He can throw a pylon down and actually really cause some havoc here.
I don't know if herO even notices this. Meanwhile, herO is on the way, and both players will have Blink. Rain just a few seconds behind, but that can actually be the difference between victory and defeat oftentimes. No pylon here in the main, but he confirms Blink. And he just needs to get a formation up at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, well, he's not even going to commit to the top of the ramp itself, just a little further up. This could be a mistake, though. It's going to allow these Stalkers up.
Good micros so far, and he's got a concave, and herO aborts. 2 more Stalkers coming in, though, and he's got a sentry for Guardian Shield, as well as some Force Field potential to try to do it contain. The problem being that Rain also has Blink, something that herO does not yet know.
Well, actually, Rain actually did a Blink during that exchange, so he has an idea.
Okay, he did, yeah, you're
probably
right.
why he's turned around.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That's true.
But still, herO in a very good place. He wanted to do more damage for sure after killing that Mothership core, but it's pretty difficult when it's Blink versus Blink and one's at the top of the ramp.
Fast Nexus is oftentimes the best way to go here. Rain does have a faster Robo, which he can use to get a faster Observer, potentially even go Immortals if he wants to take his own Nexus. hero's going to get this pylon for free. Those 3 Stalkers will escape with their lives.
Yeah, it looks like Rain's going to be the one following up here and trying to make his move with these Blink Stalkers. Do you see a probe moving down to the natural, though, so it looks like he might go for a Nexus behind it.
Guardian Shield, again, a very powerful tool that Rain is missing here.
Yeah, that is a big problem. He's also down a Stalker, and obviously that Sentry and Mothership core are going to help out a lot as well.
I love Blink versus Blink. My favorite thing to watch in this matchup, for sure. Sorry, Phenai fans.
Well, same timing with the Nexus, so or the Nexi. So we stick to that trend, Wolf, and just going to stabilize from here. Both players going up the 2 bases fairly safely from this point onwards.
I think we might actually see our first game where players go into the mid game, both of them on even footing.
Yeah, it's exciting. Let's hope Rain doesn't go for another fateful attack here and
move Command Zealots up the ramp.
Yeah, ends up falling apart.
Colossus at the top.
Yeah, you never really want to engage in that. I guess I'm still trying to put together exactly the reasoning behind it, whether it was simply a misplay and overconfidence or desperation. I don't think he was too far behind either way, but
it's just one of those things where it's like, no matter what the bottom line is, the TLDR is that was not the right choice.
Yeah. But was there a right choice is the next question. Like, I don't know. Bad fight nonetheless.
Sometimes you get pushed into those kind of situations in mirror matchups where if your opponent's just slightly ahead of you, if you don't attack, you're just going to get further behind.
Yeah. It definitely happens a lot in mirror matches. See that all the time in ZVZ.
PvP pretty similar once you get to the same unit comp. Now, Rain is going to come over here and scout, you know, like the gas timings, how many probes do you have? He's going to be like, okay, I've got better saturation on my natural, which I think is actually just a mistake. I think herO just needs to transfer a few more probes down. And there he goes. Okay, so it's going to be about the same now. He's actually going to try to snipe this Observer. Success.
Wow. All right, it's going to help out a lot. Really stop any sort of more scouting. Doesn't really know what the composition is going to be of herO, but safe bet it is going to be Robotech.
Yep, just wants to confirm. You know what? I mean, this really is as even as it gets in this PvP. Robo Bay is on the way at the same time. +1 for both. The only exception here being that a Warp Prism comes out for herO, whereas Rain is not using his robotics currently.
Yeah, I love this Warp Prism as well. It's something we haven't seen in the other games, which kind of surprised me because they could have really made a difference. But this time around, though, you know, there's a lot of airspace behind that main base. So Warp Prism can sit out there until the army moves out, fly in, warp in a ton of Zealots, create some havoc.
Well, let's see how he decides to use it. Most likely he's going to put 4 Zealots in it and wait to backstab if an attack comes out. Or if a third base gets taken, he tries to move out to secure that. The Zealots can find some damage.
Yeah. Force the army out of position, do a lot of economic damage very easily.
This Phoenix hallucination does get denied as well. He's not going to see that Warp Prism, so still undetected so far. And down goes the third base faster here for herO. which is still also undetected.
This hallucination might catch this just not.
Meanwhile, this one's going to scout the composition here. All the extra gateways.
All the extra gateways. A lot more Colossus coming out. Now, it looks like Rain's going to be the aggressor here. He's moving across the map now. And with these 3 extra gateways, kind of leads you to believe he might be looking for some aggression. Or just a later third base with extra production.
Yeah, definitely wants to put some pressure on first, it looks like. He wants to try to maybe catch some units. This Warp Prism threatening, of course, but no opportunities just yet. If he saw these Stalkers were out of position, he'd definitely be looking a little bit closer at what he could find here. He doesn't have anything in the Warp Prism, so he's going to have to warp into the main base, which is going to cost him more time. So it's not a deadly Warp Prism at this moment in time, but definitely there's potential there.
Yeah, and with these Stalkers coming towards the third base, it's going to pull a lot of the army out of place. Give a big window of opportunity for this Zealot warp-in in the main base. And look at this. Ooh, big blink flood there, but only a few of them.
Yeah, a few of them, and that means he's actually going to be able to take off this pylon at least. And the Warp Prism potential has been unlocked, but he's not using it.
Not just yet. Buying his time here. Look at that potential Zealot run by for Rain.
Yeah, he's going to be using his Zealot harassment via ground. And that's 6 Zealots there without charge, mind you. There's something that both players do have on the way. In the production tab, you can see it.
Oh, look at that. The Stalker's turning around. And Rain coming across the map with all his units.
Right outside of each other, these Zealot harasses. We have Temple Archives done, so we can see some Archons added, and the first Archon being added here for herO.
Oh, look at this. Both using, actually attacking from both sides here. It's like herO actually realizes what's going on. Positions out here. He's got an Archon as well. He's got to be careful. And a lot of Zealots coming from the north.
Yeah, Zealots coming into that main base now as well. Forcing probes offline, going to make reinforcing harder, but he needs to, pull those units out and have them go into an arc, into a concave. He doesn't want to have them all bunched up into Rain's Colossus fire. Now he's going to hit the third base, totally uncontested. More warp-ins for the harass, but he's going to lose his third Nexus here, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it, and this really puts Rain in an all-in position. He has to get the damage done or recall home, and it's going to be a recall here.
Oh, buy belt! Buy belt on the Nexus!
Oh my god. That is unbelievable. That is so unfortunate. And while it's all happening,
Oh, and the Stalker comes in! Oh!
All right, well, there you go. That makes it a little bit better. Still, serious economic damage to Rain's all 3 bases, actually, with that Warp Prism. So I'm not sure who got the better trade right there, but it looks like herO's going to be making his move towards the third
He lost a lot of units, during that exchange, and herO's now going to have several Archons. So I like herO's position a lot because he can now take a good fight here. Let's see if he decides to try to hit the natural or hit this third base.
I think he's going for it. He's going to try and crush it now, and he's in position to do so. Everything else from Rain's completely out of position.
He's just going to let it go. But this is going to be a problem. Okay, decides to come in with those Stalkers, trying to maybe get an angle here. Going for a Colossus, but there's just nothing to be found.
No chance there at all. Recall happens as well.
Perfect recall. Not a single unit left behind.
All right. Good place. Now Rain's turn to turn things around here. Maybe actually start applying the aggression once again.
Both players on even army supply here, but reinforcement power with the Colossi going to be a lot stronger for herO. I think he's also a Colossus up right now, if not 2.
2 Colossus, 1 Archon up. So I do favor him in terms of splash, but it's all going to come down to positioning. And make sure he has his Zealots at the front and no move command this time around.
Yep. Well, there's that gateway finally going down. We talked about how it might happen. It happens at 18 minutes into the game here.
I had a feeling.
This Nexus is now recompleted, which puts further pressure on Rain, who's not even yet restarted his Nexus, only doing so now, which is scouted by the observer.
Wow, that actually puts herO in such a powerful position. He knows how far ahead economically he is. He can sit back, try and max out before he goes for the next attack, but he most certainly will have a lead in army supply.
Here comes, well, it looked like it might have been a move out from herO, just like wants to control some space here, clear up that observer. I think he knows there's a warp-in point somewhere nearby, would like to get rid of it, but just hasn't yet. And moving across the map now to try to swing the hammer onto this third base yet again to solidify that lead and essentially solidify a win. If he actually kills his Nexus again, there's no coming back for Rain. It looks like we're going to pass each other here, though.
Yeah, this actually could be worse off for herO because he is so established with his base up and running, where Rain's kind of just taking a chance here. And they're going to be trading bases, which is a kind of an ugly situation.
Well, Army supplies, again, even at this point. But like you said, this base is so much more important for herO, whereas Rain loses the building Nexus is not as big of a deal. He can just cancel this, and then he can recall home and defend his natural. If herO actually commits, this could be a problem. Let's see. Looks like they're actually just going to trade. They're going to race. It's an elimination race now for these two players. A Dark Shrine coming up immediately for Rain because he knows that's going to be one of the most important techs to have in this type of elimination race. Observers are important as well. 3 for herO currently, 1 for Rain.
Well, here we go. No recall is going to be really working out this time around, not for herO, so he's going to be really committing to it. He does have that base in the top right with a lot of probes there, but he should be moving them around the map.
Rain probably wants to grab some of these probes out of his main base with that warp prism, but he's not paying attention. Probes have escaped here for herO. This is a big problem. Okay, 8 probes saved in the warp prism. Dark Shrine scouted and canceled.
All right, so both sides in a good place here.
This is going to come down to buildings perhaps here.
Where are these probes going right now?
Well,
where are these probes going right now? That's actually a big problem. He turns them around, but the army's chasing him, and a big recall from herO, actually.
Cool force field there as well. Rain is being revealed. He does have enough for another Nexus, but all buildings that are currently made have been revealed, and they will be on the map for the rest of the game.
7 Colossi to 4. Huge number favoring herO right now. It's just about using them. As well as has 2 extra Archons, going to help out a lot.
The Dark Shrine has been remade. It's hidden, unscouted this time. herO does have way more observers, though, 3 to 1 currently, and that's something that is going to be very important. It's going to be hard to actually utilize DTs with this many observers on the map, but it will cause units to be disrupted. Like if you have a DT in your main and your army has all the observers together with it, you're going to have to send something back to deal with that.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely potential there. herO might just go for the kill at this point. I feel like he's pretty confident that he can do it. We do see him move across the map, trying to intercept these Stalkers, but even without that, I think he can go for the kill if he wants to.
Attacking into this choke point might be a difficult thing to do.
Look how many Zealots there are there. Like, he has such a perfect composition to deal with this kind of army with so much splash and range to it. I feel like Rain's kind of in a bad place right now. He's struggling. This is why he's going for another counterattack.
Which is also why he's going for DTs. I think he just made 1, right? It's going to find... There's some unit that just went into the main base. I'm not sure what it is, but...
might be a hallucination.
He's also a supply block, so he can't make any DTs currently. He's going to need to make more pylons or lose units before that happens. Rain, to be totally honest, I feel is out-positioning herO in this game. He's also killed all but 8 of herO's probes, something that will become very important should this become a very, very serious elimination race.
Yeah, well, here we go again. He's going to be working on each other's naturals.
Oh, there's a recall, but he's actually in a good position, just barely. A risky recall, a very risky recall, but he kills an Archon with this.
Yeah, he's in a good place, and Rain might be just forced to go for one big attack and try and win this fight.
He's got a lesser Colossus count, but he's still trying to fight this. Probes do block quite a bit here, but this is way too much splash damage for herO on the other side. Time Warp goes down, but he just doesn't have enough units underneath. Look, the Archon's get on top. GG, herO will take that 5th game, putting him on max point.
Very close game there. Rain trying to maneuver around the map, try and get back into this game with a much less effective composition. Not finding it though. herO playing it very smart, very cautious. That last recall could have been a bad one if herO's army was just a little bit closer.
Just a little bit. Just even a little bit more. And that would have been a bad, bad recall. Units take damage while they're in stasis. You know, when you see them kind of that faded out blue color, they can still die. They will still take damage. And that could have been a game-winning moment. But herO doing it at the exact right moment, killing that Nexus and the recalling at the last second. A Rain 1 loss away, being unable to take his victory. Now, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? Nobody knows how many Star Leagues are going to be next year. Nobody knows if there will ever be another OSL. This could be Rain's only opportunity to be the first player to take an OSL, a GSL, and an SSL. If he loses here, that dream is gone. With Maru out of Star League as well, maybe we will never see that Triple Crown in Korea if he does not make this finals. Yep. So, very important moment for fans who want to see Rain get that Triple Crown.
Yeah, and I mean, it would be fantastic for Rain to win both Star Leagues this year as well. You know, a huge achievement in itself.
That would be the first time anyone's done that back-to-back either. Something else to keep in mind.
Well, let's find out how this is going to end. Game number 6 on Cactus Valley. Big map. Should be a pretty fun one as well. It's going to go to the distance. Probably see a similar game to Lost. Let's hopefully Rain makes a more powerful composition going into that late game. Better sort of choice of units.